With FIFA 18 set to be released in a few months, it's time to start thinking about player ratings for the next game. And as a Manchester United fan, I'm going to start out by talking about the ratings that I expect these players to have come September. I've not tried out this kind of content on the channel before. If you can smash out over 2,000 likes on this video though, I'll be sure to turn it into a series and take a look at my player predictions for other clubs too. In fact, let's make it 2008 likes, in honour of Manchester United's last Champions League triumph. Cristiano Ronaldo is a big part of that success, top scorer at the tournament, scored in the final, unfortunately missed his penalty, but yeah, that can be forgiven. John Terry slipped, we went on to win the trophy, and that's all that really matters. Cristiano is apparently unhappy in Spain at the moment, so hopefully he'll be back for the next season. It's been speculated, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed it will happen. Anyway though, if you'd like to see this become a series rather than just a one-off video, you know what to do, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more. Let's get into it then, and let's take a look at my FIFA 18 Manchester United player predictions. David De Gea is one of the best goalkeepers in world football at the moment, but I'm not sure if he's really done enough in the last year to warrant an upgrade on the 90 overall that he had in FIFA 17. He's an absolute world-class keeper, there's no doubt about that, and after a pretty solid season, some of his stats might receive slight improvements, but I don't know if his stats will be upgraded to such an extent that he'll reach a 91 rating. Romero, meanwhile, has proven himself to be a very capable understudy at Manchester United. He was the first choice keeper in the Europa League, led us to glory, and I reckon that for FIFA 18 he will receive an upgrade. He was 79 rated at the start of FIFA 17, but for FIFA 18, I reckon he's going to get an 80 rating. And Mourinho has often been quite critical of Luke Shaw since he arrived at Old Trafford, but I'd like to think that the young Englishman will keep his 80 rating for FIFA 18. He's suffered frequent injury setbacks in the last few years, and it's been quite difficult for him at times. Despite the problems though, he remains a very promising left back, and hopefully in the next few years he can put the injury problems behind him, start getting more first team football, and begin to establish himself more at club level and as an England international too. Whether or not he's going to stay at Manchester United remains to be seen. He's only 21 though, and personally I think it would be a massive mistake if we do let him go anytime soon. Darmian meanwhile had a fairly inconsistent season at Manchester United, but I feel that a downgrade would be a bit harsh. He's comfortable both as a left back and as a right back, so he might well receive a position change for FIFA 18. Other than that though, I can't really see much changing in terms of his stats. And if Darmian is converted to a left back for FIFA 18, United could have an absolute abundance of left backs in the game. Blind started out his Manchester United life as a left back in the game and could well return to the position for FIFA 18. ROJO received a significant downgrade for FIFA 17. This was largely due to him being moved from a centre back to the left back position though. But for FIFA 18, I reckon he'll be back in the centre back position, and I can see him having an 82 rating, or maybe even slightly higher. He's injured going into the new season, and it might take a bit of time for him to recover and get back to his very best. But prior to picking up an injury against Anderlecht in the Europa League, ROJO was looking pretty solid at the back for United, and had built up a good partnership alongside Eric Bailly, a player that I didn't know very much about just a year ago, but have come to love over the course of his first season with United. Bailly has been an absolute rock at the back for Manchester United since moving over from Villarreal, and I think that the young Ivory Coast international will receive a small upgrade for FIFA 18. Nothing too substantial, but certainly a slight lift above the 82 rating that he had last year. He's only young, he's still got areas of his game that he needs to improve, but last season he was quite often the best player in the United backline, so the early signs are definitely promising, and he looks like a very good player for the future. Chris Smalling meanwhile was not so long ago one of the top performers at the club. In the last year he suffered several injuries however, and when he has played, he no longer really looks like the reliable rock at the back that he used to be. He had an 84 rating for FIFA 17, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him downgraded for FIFA 18. And Phil Jones looked incredibly promising when he first arrived at Manchester United. That was 6 years ago though, and he hasn't really progressed much since. Injuries haven't really helped on that front, but he's never really cemented his place in the Manchester United team, and with the arrival of Lindelof, he may find himself surplus to requirements. Lindelof is a new signing at United, having recently moved across from the Portuguese league, and after moving over to the Premier League, I'd expect the young Swede to receive some sort of upgrade. I've predicted him an 80 rating here, but to be honest, I don't follow the Portuguese league, so I'm not going to pretend to have a great deal of knowledge about him. But he does have a 79 rating in career mode at the moment, so a 79 or 80 rating is probably to be expected for FIFA 18. Having previously played as a winger, I was quite sceptical of the move when Valencia first started appearing as a fullback. He's certainly more than proved his worth as a right back though, and although he started out FIFA 17 with an 80 rating, he received a winter upgrade to an 82, and that's the rating that I think he'll keep for FIFA 18. He might even have an even higher rating, to be honest. Antonio Valencia has been absolutely brilliant since shifting to play as a fullback. Sadly though, he's not getting any younger, and he'll probably need replacing within the next few seasons. Right now though, Valencia is a cracking player. Now then, Fellaini for me is a player that gets an unfair amount of criticism levelled against him. No, he's not the most technically gifted footballer of all time, and his use of his elbows can be quite questionable sometimes, but he does have his uses. He was 81 rated when he first moved across from Everton, and I don't think he deserves that rating back, obviously based on his form in the last few seasons. He is not that kind of quality anymore, but he was 79 rated in FIFA 15, and after picking up a couple of man of the match cards in Ultimate Team this year, I think that for FIFA 18, he may well get his 79 rating back. Whilst Paul Pogba is another player that I feel maybe gets more stick than he deserves. It's not his fault that he's currently the most expensive footballer of all time, and yeah, you probably would expect slightly more from a player that cost 89 million, but the fact that he was massively overpriced doesn't change his quality. I don't think he'll get upgraded, but I also don't believe that he'll get downgraded either. He's been unlucky not to have scored more goals at Manchester United this season, but 9 goals in all competitions isn't bad anyway for a midfielder, and it's on a level with what he was contributing at Juventus. Pogba is having to adapt his game to fit in at Manchester United, and it was always going to be difficult in his first season to live up to the price tag that he was purchased for. But it's not been a bad season anyway, and I expect him to improve in the future and become an integral part of the squad. His vision and ability to pick out a pass is absolutely sublime. His touches of skill are at times completely mesmerising, and Paul Pogba is most definitely a player that we'll see a lot more of in the future. Herrera, meanwhile, is a player that some people seem to view as a potential future captain for Manchester United. Regardless of whether or not you think he's got the desired leadership qualities to perform this role in the future though, I think it's safe to say that he's been a very good signing for the club. He was an 82 rating at the start of FIFA 17, upgraded to an 83 with a winter upgrade, and for FIFA 18, I think he'll be upgraded again and move up to an 84 rating. And Michael Carrick might not be getting any younger, but he's still an important player with a vast depth of experience, and I believe that he'll keep hold of his 81 rating for FIFA 18. As the years pass by, he continues to be a strong presence in the midfield, and his vision and passing ability is still absolutely outstanding. He recently signed a contract extension to remain at Manchester United for another season, and although he may well retire at the end of it, he definitely still has a part to play for Manchester United, and his knowledge and experience of the game will no doubt go a long way in helping out the younger players at the club. Whilst Juan Mata is another player that I expect to hold firm at the rating that he currently possesses. He had yet another solid season for the club, but he's been an 84 rating for a few years now, and I don't really see that changing for FIFA 18. Some people expected Mata to be ousted from the Manchester United squad when Mourinho arrived last summer. That didn't happen though, and instead he's once again been a key player for the club, even adding a few more medals to his collection. 84 rated at the start of FIFA 17. Wayne Rooney is a player that I can definitely see getting downgraded for FIFA 18, and I've therefore predicted him an 82 rating. He was once such an important player both for Manchester United and for England, and in fact, he's the top scorer for both. These days though, it's massively questionable as to what kind of future he's got for club and country. If he can bag himself a move elsewhere and start playing regular football again, maybe he can work his way back into the plans with England. At Manchester United, however, I feel that his time may well be up. Martial had a brilliant first season in the Premier League. The young Frenchman frequently tore teams apart and looked like he could be a key player for the future. He hasn't had much game time under Mourinho though, and even when he has played well for the club, he's generally been benched in the next match and not really given a chance to fully cement his place in the starting 11. It was a frustrating season for him, and understandably, at times he appeared to lack confidence. Despite the negatives though, he still played well for the club at times, and heading into FIFA 18, I think he'll keep his 82 rating. I don't think he's done enough to warrant an upgrade, but I also don't believe that his form deserves a downgrade either. Lingard recently signed a new 4-year contract at the club and is a player with a fantastic attitude and work ethic. He doesn't get a great deal of minutes, but he's a decent squad player anyway, and when he is called upon, he always works hard. I think his current rating's quite fair, and I reckon he'll maintain a 77 rating for FIFA 18. Henrik Mkhitaryan didn't play much at the start of the season. In the second half of the campaign he was utilised a lot more though, and showed some real glimpses of class and quality. The Armenian was particularly impressive in the Europa League, scoring numerous goals including a lovely finish in the final against Ajax. I'm not too sure if he really did enough to pick up an upgrade for FIFA 18, but if EA do see it fit to give him an upgrade, it'll most likely be a +1. Marcus Rashford had an absolutely explosive start to his Manchester United career that led to him being called up to the England squad for Euro 2016. He's not been anywhere near as prolific in the season that followed, but that's largely due to him being pushed out wide. Rashford was 76 rated at the start of FIFA 17, received a winter upgrade to a 77 rating, and heading into FIFA 18, I think that the young Englishman will now be upgraded once again and receive a 78 rating. It wasn't the best season for him, but then again it wasn't exactly a vintage season for anyone. He's only 19, he's still developing, and for me, a 78 rating for Rashford would be quite fair as we head forward into FIFA 18. With the departure of Zlatan, Manchester United really need to sign a new striker in the summer. Morata's been linked, and Cristiano Ronaldo could even find himself returning to Old Trafford. He's reportedly unsettled in Spain. He's linked with a return to Manchester United every year to be fair, but this seems different. Personally, I'd absolutely love to see the return of CR7. It'll be a pretty hefty investment for the 32-year-old if it does happen. This isn't just any old 32-year-old though. This is Ballon d'Or winning best player in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo. Last summer he won the Euros with Portugal, since then he won the league title with Real Madrid, as well as his third Champions League trophy in 4 seasons. Ronaldo might be 32, but he continues to be an absolute superstar of world football, and as he's the cover star for FIFA 18, I reckon he might even receive a small upgrade. Hopefully, it'll be as a Manchester United player. Right then, I'll finish off the video there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think of my ratings predictions? And if I do end up turning this into a series, what team should I cover next? Anyway though, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Leave it a like if you have done, and I'll catch you again next time.